Heidi ho motherfuckers, Overman back up in this bitch, and in today's video we're gonna talk about a very touchy topic. Should the Gjlallarhorn get nerfed? Now before I give you guys my thoughts and opinions, I want to talk about where and when this idea got started up. And the answer to that is back in the dark below, in the Crota's End raid specifically. And that's because Ute was a tough son of a bitch and you needed to burn her very quickly. And the most powerful weapon in the game is Gjlallarhorn, and it's got that damage on demand. So it was a very popular weapon for taking her down. Gjlallarhorn was also a very popular option for taking down Crota because, as many of you know, people were able to solo Crota with a Gjlallarhorn because Gjlallarhorn two-shots his shields. And fast forward to the present, people are calling for the nerf on the Gjlallarhorn because pretty much the strategy right now for any Prison of Elders match where there isn't a burn or it's solar burn is run up in there, shoot the boss with Gjlallarhorn, collect the loot. And a lot of people are saying that Gjlallarhorn trivializes the game and that's why Gjlallarhorn needs to be nerfed, because right now the strategies are very boring and nobody wants to do the actual fights. Now this is where I would argue that it's not the Gjlallarhorn's fault and you can't just go and blame a weapon. Now you could blame a weapon if it was the actual problem, but Gjlallarhorn isn't the problem, because back in the days of the Vault of Glass there weren't many people calling for the nerf of the Gjlallarhorn. A lot of people knew that the Gjlallarhorn was a really beastly weapon, but there was nobody on LFG sites saying you have to have Gjlallarhorn to join my group. Because the most important thing for a Vault of Glass raid group was that the people raiding knew the fights. You needed skilled players to complete the objectives and get through the mechanics. That was way more important than a Gjlallarhorn. I cleared the Vault of Glass many times with groups without any single person having a Gjlallarhorn, and we did just fine because we knew the fights. We had people who knew how to use the relics, people understood the oracles, and we went through there very easily. And I would argue that the reason why people have been calling for the nerf on the Gjlallarhorn is because of the way Bungie has been designing the events that we're doing in PvE. In the Crota's End raid, you had a lot of beefy targets that needed to die ASAP. Best way to do that? Gjlallarhorn. And I don't think you can blame the Gjlallarhorn for that. Yes, it's a very powerful weapon, but here's the thing. It's an exotic heavy weapon. Heavy weapons are the most destructive weapons in the game, and Gjlallarhorn is an exotic heavy weapon. Therefore, shouldn't it be one of the most destructive weapons in the game? Yes, it is more destructive than the other exotic rocket launchers, Truth and Dragon's Breath, and I would say that Dragon's Breath needs a buff, but I'd be damned if Bungie nerfs the Gjlallarhorn without buffing Dragon's Breath, because that doesn't make any sense to me. Now, how could Bungie fix the PvE situation right now without nerfing Gjlallarhorn? Well, they could give us more incentive to doing the fight properly. For example, I just completed the level 32 Quodron Prison of Elders event, and our strategy was, yeah, run in there with Gjlallarhorns and burn him down. But when we first got to him, we didn't all have full heavy ammo. So I suggested that we go in there, we try the fight normally, and we see if we can pick up some heavy ammo and wait for our synths to come off of cooldown. So we went in there, and I had a lot of fun, man. It's actually a cool fight. You kill that certain enemy, and then you get the bonus so that you can drop that detainment shield a lot faster, and it requires coordination and teamwork, and I like it a lot. The way I think they could fix it is if they give you a damage bonus towards Quodron. So that would incentivize killing that named enemy, taking down your team's detainment shield so you guys all have to group up, and then you can go and burn the boss. Now, if you were good enough, you wouldn't need Gjlallarhorn because of that damage buff. You could burn the boss very quickly with regular weapons, or at least in a timely manner. Because if you remember back in the Atheon fight, that's exactly how they did it. You got in that bubble in the center of the arena and you beat the shit out of Atheon pretty much. All of the weapons were very destructive in time's vengeance. And yeah, Gjlallarhorn was super destructive, but you didn't really need it. For the most part, what you needed was a sniper rifle to shoot his belly button. I think that if Bungie starts designing more fights like they did with the Atheon fight, they won't need to nerf Gjlallarhorn because people won't rely on it so heavily. Also, something else that I want to mention is, what's the strategy when there's a burn besides solar? For example, this week's Skolas is Void Burn. What do you think the strategy is? Most people are gonna run up in there full void weapons and they're gonna try to burn his ass as fast as possible. Now they may not kill him instantly, but they'll kill him pretty damn quick because of all the void weapons that they're bringing. So even if you nerf Gjallarhorn, this mentality of burn the boss as quick as possible will stay. People are still going to try to do that, and it won't really change unless you change the game and add more mechanics that incentivize doing the fights normally. Because I'm sure that the developers did not intend for people to walk into the arena and shoot Gjallahorn rockets or just one type of weapon, just shoot all those rockets and burn a boss that quickly. I'm sure that wasn't the thought process. I'm sure that's not what the devs had in mind. But at the same time, you have to account for these things. And nobody is running into Atheon and burning him within a few seconds. People are doing the fight. They have to understand the mechanics in order to beat the fight. And if you understand the mechanics, you can kill Atheon real quick. Within a couple of time vengeances, you can kill Atheon on hard mode with no issues whatsoever. Atheon isn't a bullet sponge. He's a mechanic sponge. Once you learn those mechanics and you master those mechanics, you're good to go. And that's how I think Bungie should try to design these fights going forward. Less bullet sponges, more mechanic sponges, and we'll all have a good time. But that's enough rambling from me. If you enjoyed this video and you agreed with what I said, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not feeling too shy, drop a comment down below and let me know what you think Bungie can do to fix this situation. It's not necessarily the Gjallahorn situation, just the bullet sponge, burn the boss ASAP situation, I guess. Whatever. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can become a member of the Overman Army, group of the baddest motherfuckers across all of YouTube. That's it for me though, guys. Overman out!